I just wanted to do a demonstration. I made a new version of Ticket Auction Manager this past week that uses an API server instead of just making calls directly to the database, which actually makes things a little more lean, possibly more secure. So I'll start things out. So I set up the deployment to use Docker Compose. I just find it's easier to package everything that way, and it does make it a lot easier to guide people on how to set it up. So first things first is you'll likely need root access to a computer running Linux or on Windows. You'll need to set up a Windows subsystem for Linux and then Docker inside of that. The newer versions of Docker come with Compose, I think. I have the latest version that I know of on my computer so far. So yeah, this is a folder I set up for the purpose of this video, to show like how to get it set up and installed here. So first file you'll need is the Docker Compose file. So I'm going to copy that. Then you're going to use the text editor of your choice. I'll use NeoVim for this example, but I'll show exactly what I'm doing with it. So you're going to create a Docker Compose.yml. You're going to go into insert mode by pressing I and then Control Shift V. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to show how to set up this the encrypted and secure modes too. So in production, you'll probably want to set up the database username and password to something different. If you change it up here, you do have to change it down here as well. So you change the same values for each set. The secure mode, you can enable that by just adding an environment variable, an API PW. If I can type it right, then you'll set a password there. I'll just put my name in there for now since this isn't going to be a production thing. We're going to press escape to escape into regular mode. Then we're going to click down here where it shows the comment there. So the hashtags are actually comments, so it just tells it to ignore that line. So the one next to Nginx, we're going to hit Control, then V, and it's going to go into visual block mode down here. Right arrow once, and going to go down until you get to the bottom of this block we got to take out. Then we're going to press delete. They'll uncomment that, and then we're going to click on this one. This is auto heal. They'll automatically reboot the containers if they get into an unhealthy state. So if they stop responding, they'll restart them for you. We're going to save and exit. So in regular mode, so you press escape, you can either do :WQ, that means right quit, and they'll show up down here, and you just press enter. I'm just going to go into normal mode and do Shift Z twice. And now we're going to grab the Nginx conf. So get that up, and then we're going to nvim Nginx .conf. We're going to go into insert mode. We're going to copy this up here, and we're going to Control Shift V again. Then we're going to escape, then press and hold Shift, and then ZZ, and they'll right quit as well. Then we're going to do mkdir space certs. After that, we're going to use XCA to create some self-signed certs. So we're going to do XCA and specify a database file. This is installable through your package manager, and it's usually just called XCA. means like X11 certificate authority or something like that. And we're going to do search.xdb. That's going to create a file. I'm not going to password protect it, but in production, it's best to password protect it. We're going to click the new certificate button. We're going to make it a TLS server certificate and then click apply all. And subject, internal name, let's give that a name. Common name will be the IP address or host name of the server in relation to the clients. Or if you do a sign cert using a domain challenge or something like, and you're going to be using a custom host file, you can put that domain name in that you use for the sign cert. That's going to generate the key, so you do have to generate a key with a certificate. So it successfully created that. Now we're going to, it's still on the certificate tab, so we're going to create the certificate we just created and export. Then it's going to be / Docker compose, and another /certs, and another / nginx.crt. And private keys, we're going to put the one we just created, export, and we're going to change just the file to nginx.key. Now we're going to test that by doing ls of certs. So we have our certificate and key in there. So now that that's all in place, we can just do docker space compose space up and another space -d. It may take a few seconds because it starts MariaDB and make sure that's healthy before it starts everything else. Now if we wait a little bit, we can do a Docker container. And we're going to do an ls. And we're going to see that we have healthy all across the board. Now the server is launched, now we just got to configure it. So you download the client, so that would be under the main page for that, and you have releases down here. And then the latest release, and then it would be the client for the Linux. So that's where you grab these and you extract them. So first launch a client, it creates the config file that both of those executables need, and settings. If you want to use the encryption, you'll change that to HTTPS and then change this to 8443 instead of 8000. Then you specify that password you put in when you created when you edited the Docker compose file. Give a computer name that just references in the database. And generate API key. If it can talk to the server and get an API key, it will say that message right there, and you just click save. You close out of this and you reopen it. And now it should say connected here. Then you can open the prefix manager. If you get a red alert down at the bottom here, sometimes you might just have to do Docker compose down and Docker compose up -d in this window. Sometimes it doesn't create the prefixes table. On first start. and add a regular and a specialty. If there's one, despite alphabetical order, that you want further down the list, you can just increase the sort order when you create it. And now you can see it's still connected down here, and you have your prefixes up here, so selecting one will unlock the buttons. And just bring some sample data in. So one thing too is I did include in the Docker Compose file that it will keep everything in this DB data folder, so you shouldn't lose anything. So I'll do Docker Compose. And it's actually like essentially removing all the containers. And I'll do another Docker Compose up-d. And you can see that when I open the client again, it connects. And all the data is still there. And you have a, I'll just do 1 to 10. And the drawing folder allows you to specify winners there, so when your volunteers go around and draw tickets, then you can use those numbers that they draw to enter into here. And it's the same keys and buttons as pretty much all the other forms. And the reports, if you're using self-signed search in secure mode, you do have to bypass it. So Chrome has like a link over here that you can click. Firefox, you click advanced, unlock timeout, and then click accept risk and continue, and it shows up. So yeah, this is the style of report that will generate for you when you click those buttons. And it'll specify filters when you click the specific buttons for it. So you can see that person has a text preference. You see nothing shows up on the color preference. And you also have your by basket one. So yeah, that's it for this video. I guess I'll see you in the next one.